How's it going, guys and gals? My name is Beckett, and welcome back to another Beckett React video. Today, we are yet again going back to the world of Jubilee with the series that I keep saying is just awesome in every way. It's Middle Ground. So, today's one I'm doing because it's one that the way the Jubilee have titled this episode. It's rather interesting. I know I said that a lot for these middle ground videos, but this one is especially interesting. So today we are watching Polyamory versus Polyamory versus I can't say it. Monogamy. Polyamory versus monogamy. Thank you. God damn it. And it is then captioned, "Is monogamy unrealistic?" And for those of you who, like me, get tripped up by a lot of things these days, let me just explain to you, if you don't know, what the difference between these two are, or what they are in general. So monogamy, start with that, is, well, what I am and what a lot of people are. People who, well, okay, let me reword it, because I wasn't wording this right. So monogamy is something that a lot myself and a lot of other people take part in or do. It is the practice. Is basically, it's a practice or state of having a sexual relationship with only one partner, or in the non-internet definition terms, basically it's just having a relationship, or intimate or not, with with only one person. And so therefore, polyamory is the opposite of that, or whatever. The opposite. That's right. Yeah, the opposite of that, which is being able to have sex or have an intimate relationship with more than one person. Now, I myself, that's the word. I am monogamous. I don't, the idea of having a relationship or that sort of stuff with multiple people doesn't sound very appealing to me. I'm more in terms of that one person, that's fine, that's enough for me. And so, when I saw the title of "Is Monogamy Unrealistic?", it got me intrigued, because I'm rather intrigued to see just what they talk about with this stuff. So, yeah, I just want to get into this, because I don't know. Is monogamy unrealistic? Huh. Well, let me stop staring into the distant space of my monitor, and actually let's see what people have to say, shall we?
Middle Ground is a social experiment that brings humans with opposing beliefs together. These discussions may contain viewpoints that are the result of misinformation. Remember to seek out experts and to be critical of your own biases while forming an opinion. Please see the humanity in each participant, and as always, we encourage empathy.
There's plenty of people out there that can separate sex and love, but for me, when I have sex with someone, I fall in love with them. And while I do have friends with benefits, these people are chosen very specifically because I know that I will have to go through heartbreak on my own when I have sex with them.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. I can separate love and sex.
Now this question would be better answered for my part, if I had experience in it, but I don't. I have previously, I'm gonna say no. Based on what my values I know are, I'm gonna say no.
For me, I think that I can separate it, but oftentimes it doesn't turn out that way. This is kind of the cliche, but I do think that sex for me is better when I'm in love and when I have respect and communication with the person. I also think it depends on how we define love, because I could maybe, love that person as a human, but maybe not in a romantic sense.
Yes. Something I've come across something I've discovered a lot is so something I've experienced definitely from. I mean, I first saw it from one of my friends. Started to see it a lot more often is people expressing love to just everyone and anyone, but in like a friend and like a friend sense. And I always find that weird. I mean, not that I disapprove of it. If that's how you feel if that's how you express feelings, then that's fine. But I've had this thing where I can never say that to friends. Never. I can only say it when I actually like romantically love someone, because in my head the word love is a sign. That's the way that, like, in my head, the word love is a sign to romance and being in a relationship with someone. So in my head, when I know the people that when like say, should I tell this to me? I know what that means, but to me I can't say that, because to me that would seem weird on my part, because I say I love them, I don't really love them. But yeah, I mean, so it's one I've always thought about it, like, yeah, because it's like I just never had that love, that feeling for someone as a friend before. And just, yeah, so yeah, so probably put that out there.
So I think there's a lot of
Just because what she said that literally reminded me of it. So yeah.
nuance around it. I'm not really someone who's gonna say like one or the other.
I also agree with that as well. When you have those intense feelings for a person, the sex definitely like hits different. Knowing that you feel safe enough with this person to be emotionally vulnerable as well as physically vulnerable with them, it's a very special bond that you share.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I really resonate with that, because I'm actually a survivor of sexual assault and I'm also disabled, so I think that trust plays a really huge role, and that perhaps could even, be more important than the love factor.
I think for me, I can make the clear distinction because I've had a lot of meaningless sex in my lifetime to make me feel good, to occupy the sense of loneliness, and then I've loved someone, but the sex part just hasn't worked out, but the love is there. And sadly, relationships like that didn't work out for me. And I do agree with what you guys said. When I'm in love and I can trust someone, it's better, especially as a trans individual. There's a lot of people out there trying to fetishize that don't understand your body or respect you. So having the love part makes it a lot better.
I love deeply. The people that are around me feel that. Love and sex to me are completely different things. They absolutely can exist separately. I hate the fact that even the polyamory community is fetishized as well, and it's like completely sexualized. It's only about the sex. Similarly to you, I have a sexual trauma. I have things in my life that affected me deeply that I'm still dealing with till this day. And the fact that it's automatically just clumped in is just something that I have to kind of oppose.
Well, I don't believe this is true for everyone. Obviously, there's plenty of people out there that can separate sex and love. But for me, when I have sex with someone, I fall in love with them. And while I do have friends with benefits, these people are chosen very specifically because I know that I will have to go through heartbreak on my own when I have sex with them.
I've been with the same person. My husband and I were high school sweethearts. He's the only person I've ever been with. And so it would be hard for me to separate sex and love simply because I've never had to.
I think it's also important to note that some people are maybe asexual. And so if I have an asexual partner, which I have not had before, I would have that discussion, and it wouldn't have to be integral to be part of our connection and such. My name is Jessica, and I'm polyamorous. To me, relationship anarchy really has to do with destructuring.
Relationship anarchy is the application of anarchist principles to imitate relationships. Wait, no, no. Wait. Hold on. Sorry. I don't know if I read that wrong. Wait, what? Oh! No, sorry. Okay, no, sorry. So relationship anarchy is the application of anarchist principles to intimate relationships. Okay, no. Oh, God. Oh, I read that so wrong. Anyway, carrying on. Its values include autonomy, hierarchical practices. Is that hierarchical? I think that's it. Yeah, anti-hierarchical practices, lack of state control, and anti-normativity and community independence. Fucking hell. It's a tongue twist on how that is. Jesus Christ.
Are ideas of hierarchical relationships in that romantic and sexual relationships don't have to be at the top. I think it's actually a lot healthier to have a community with our friends, our family, romantic partners, etc.
My current relationship status meets my needs.
Yeah, because I don't have one at the moment. I'm quite used to single life at the moment. It is in many ways easy to get by with. So yeah, I'd say it does. That was not to say I wanted to stay, because I don't. I want someone to spend the rest of my life with, but at the moment, if I have to learn to switch my habits and ways of life, it's useful.
One way I know I'm in the right relationship with my wife, we still enjoy texting each other, I love you. You always start out in a relationship, oh, I love you. And then, are you still doing that 10 years later?
We've had, both my fiance and I, our fair share of struggles with mental health in very different ways, but that understanding and that support, even if I do say something really fucked up, even if I do react maybe erratically or violently during a panic attack, he keeps coming back, he keeps trying. Our love is stronger after every single disagreement and every single hurdle.
So for myself, I practice the type of polyamory called solo polyamory, or sometimes a style called relationship anarchy. And these two styles are inherently...
Many solo polys remain singlish, motivated by autonomy and personal freedoms, versus being a part of... Sorry, what? Okay, I get that.
Less about hierarchy and more about autonomy for myself. With my current relationships, or what I'm able to achieve, it gives me enough flexibility for me to feel really good about the things that I choose to take part in. And even if I'm in a relationship that's not so great, or a relationship that isn't fulfilling to me, I can still be looking for other relationships, or maybe I have another existing relationship that is more fulfilling, or that actually does support me in a way that my other relationships don't. My name is Randall, and I'm polyamorous. For me, the process of coming out as polyamorous was really me deciding that getting out of monogamous relationships because I had feelings for somebody else was just not working for me. I noticed that other people were practicing other styles of relationships where they were being truthful to their partners and admitting the fact that they had feelings for other people and doing it ethically.
Currently, I'm dissatisfied with my relationship status because I did just come out of a really bad breakup, so I am single at this point, and I can be self-sufficient enough to enjoy my own company, but it's just in certain moments in life, like for example, I was taking a long road trip and I just imagined my ex, me caressing her leg, while we're on the road trip, and you kind of wish that you just had a person just to share those moments with.
So I practice parallel polyamory, which...
God. This is the moment in these videos where my brain starts to entering into the information receival mode. Because I thought it was just polyamory and monogamy. I'm wrong completely. There were so many more levels to this stuff than I thought there was. So here we go. Parallel poly... I can't even say that. Parallel poly... I can't say that. Come on, no. Parallel polyamory, there it is when each individual relationship exists independently of each partner's additional romantic or sexual relationships. Give me a second to just... Hold on. I don't understand that. I can't get my head around that. I don't understand how that works.
Which means that my husband and I see other people, and we don't necessarily need to meet or get along with the other people that we're seeing. And I love my husband. I've been with him for 18 years coming up, and I have some friends with benefits, but I am looking for someone else to be like in a relationship with that fulfills some needs that I'm not getting from my current partner. What I've been looking for, I'm starting to probably determine that I'm not going to find one person who is going to fill the rest of these boxes, and I may have to separate that up into multiple other people, whether it's relationship-wise or otherwise. I'm Bunny, and I'm polyamorous. The way that I deal with jealousy is I like to break it down and ask myself why. Why am I feeling jealous of my husband? Is it because he's spending time with someone else and I need more time with him or my other partners? Or is it something else? And once I break it down, I can then address those issues, such as requesting more time with that partner if I am feeling jealous that I am not getting enough time with them. Or I can take it upon myself to fill said time with someone else or with another activity to be able to not focus on the jealousy that I'm feeling.
Patriarchy is the root of monogamy.
I don't know.
In the little bit of like research, I guess, that I've been doing and realizing that it was absolutely contractual. It was absolutely for gain, advantageous reasons. It was never love.
Way back when, it was like you said, it was contractual. Like women in general were an object to be purchased. While that has changed, that is still rooted in the system of monogamy and people thinking they need to be with someone forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's how people stay in abuse.
I mean, to me that sounds ideal. I should probably just clarify in case anyone misreads that or misunderstands that. When I say that sounds ideal, I'm talking about the whole being with someone for the rest of your life sort of part, being with one person forever sort of thing. I'm talking about that part, not the whole objectifying and purchasing women thing. That I'm not siding with that at all. It's the being with one person forever. Just I wanted to clear the air on that, just in case. It's a bit. I think to me that sounds. To me it sounds like because it sounds that because to me it's like. Obviously, I know polyamory obviously does have its privacies. Like not everything's public with everyone and stuff. But for me, polyamory still sounds a bit too public. I think because in my mind, especially with the physical side of things, polyamory just seem a little bit too public and stuff. Because the physical aspect is something that should be a private thing and not public at all, and the polyamory thing of having multiple partners sounds like it's more public than it needs to be for me. So I would probably so for me it's like the one person that I express all my desires and stuff with is like the best thing because it's a thing that's all thing between two individuals and stuff. And it doesn't break that boundary sort of thing. So but that's just for me because. That's the way that's the way I was raised, I guess.
Abusive relationships.
I feel like there is a lot of pieces of monogamy that are rooted in that patriarchal sort of feel. However, there are a lot of people who feel like monogamy is just the best option for them and are connected to their person regardless of that. If we're thinking about queer relationships as well and people who are married to a partner of the same gender or outside of the norm, I don't feel like they are feeling that patriarchy.
I don't know if I would say that it's like the reason that everyone is monogamous. It does play a role in just the way that we just construct our realities.
But we see monogamy across so many species, and that has me wondering, obviously in human society it was a big component, but there's something so much larger than that in monogamy that reaffirms my belief that it's not really about the patriarchy. It's about this inherent need within us, and some of us lean towards monogamy and some of us lean towards polyamory, and that's just the way it is.
Obviously, I'm a little bit older than everybody here. I grew up and really didn't know much different. The churches were pretty much, this is right, this is wrong. You know, when somebody said, polygamy, I was like, oh, they must live in Utah. That's about the only place you knew that where that could possibly exist. And there was no discussion of why somebody has that relationship. You didn't talk about any of that.
We should make a distinction that it's not also polygamy. We are polyamorous.
Okay.
So polyamorous and polygamy are two.
Polyamory means multiple loves, polygamy. Polygamy means. Okay.
Yeah.
Just different things.
And see, a lot of it is.
Right, just information and
Yeah,
not
I
knowing.
grew up not knowing.
Right.
It's unrealistic to commit to being with someone forever.
No. And I don't see how it could be either. Because I see it happen. Because many people I know who are in these relationships, and it seems to work for them just fine. So I don't agree with it, and I'm intrigued to see who thinks it is and why.
So I feel like we spend a lot of our lives dating and trying to figure out who we'd like to be with. And we don't always get it right. So I feel like thinking about it that way, it's unrealistic to think about the fact that the one person that you end up choosing will be your forever person. It could change in the future. The divorce rate is very high in this country. So I think that's an easy way to think about it.
I also think it fits into that fairy tale concept that, this is the one. And living on a planet that harbors like 7 billion people, I feel like that's highly unrealistic that you're just gonna be in love with just this one person your entire life. My name is Mel and I am monogamous. I've just had this self-discovery that there's so many things about myself that I just need to work on, and it's rooted in me just not wanting to go out of my comfort zone, and polyamory is definitely something that is out of my comfort zone. If I was to try it, maybe I would actually like it.
I think it really depends on the person. I mean, I feel like I can only speak for myself. A lot of people do stay together for, say, kids or something like that, or perhaps finances. It's a privilege to be able to maybe get divorced or live on one income. So I wouldn't say that it's a, catch-all black and white issue.
I definitely feel that you can be with someone forever, but you're going to change as individuals as you grow. And it all depends on how those changes and work with each other. So if you are able to change and accept the changes of your partner, then you can be together forever, but a lot of people change, not necessarily in a bad way, but in an incompatible way.
Yeah. I would also like to add, I did believe that I would have a forever person, but recent experiences of a breakup that just happened, that's what changed my perspective. And I looked at it more logically. I should be more open to the fact that I will meet other people down the line, and I shouldn't assume that this person is going to be with me my entire life.
I mean, I'm polyamorous, but I've been married to my first boyfriend since we were like teenagers. I think that's my forever person. And I believe that for me, and with the waves and with the changes, you make that recommitment over and over again. And I think that there can be that forever person for anyone, but I also understand experience plays a role in that tremendously, and I haven't had that experience of loss.
My opinions of this have shifted after being in a really toxic, bad relationship where I really wanted it to be my forever, but deep down I always knew it probably wasn't gonna be feasible. And then after that relationship, I didn't want to be in a relationship at all. And this amazing person came into my life, and I knew, and I tried to push him away, but it became evident that that was just my person. My name is Luca and I'm monogamous. After being in a polyamorous relationship, I really knew monogamy was the route I wanted to take. There was some jealousy going on in the relationship as to how I loved each person, and that I couldn't divide it 50-50, and I didn't want to. I want to be able to give 100% of myself to one person.
The home environment that I grew up in set a good example for my future relationships.
I cannot comment, based on the fact that I haven't had a relationship yet, so I have to say, so all I have to say, also my only answer to that is, well, I'll have to wait and see, won't I?
I think for myself, I grew up seeing a lot of broken homes and people who had divorced parents, and I felt super fortunate that that wasn't my home life, and I'm sure it shaped me in ways that I'm not even able to comprehend. They were a really good example of the way that I want to treat another human.
My mother, I just remember her like doing it all. She was just like a pillar of strength, and I think just saying that, I always thought like, okay, I can do it no matter what, and if I have a husband that can complement that, then that's awesome. My name is Emerald, and I'm monogamous. My husband and I have been together for 17 years, and I think that within our monogamy, if there's an issue that I have with him, then we're addressing it head on, and we're able to fix that within our relationship, as opposed to introducing other people. And so I think that over the years, our foundation has been strengthened simply because we're able to communicate to one another.
I grew up, my parents are married, they've been married from my birth to now. Eventually my mom stayed home and my dad kept working, but he still was trying to be active in my brother and mine's life. But as I developed mental health issues and became a difficult child, he did not cope well with that, and he kind of like pieced out for a bit. So I don't think that set a very great example, because in my greatest time of need, I would have appreciated if he stuck by my mom and stuck by me. So even if it is difficult for me to interact with my child, that's not what I want for my future.
My experience growing up was definitely similar to yours. My father was away a lot, so it was just me, my older sister, and my mom. And the way that my parents communicate, it's like their relationship, they can do pretty much over the phone. It's that lack of communication, and also having an emotionally unavailable mother, it definitely shaped a lot of codependency issues on my end.
My father was an alcoholic up and through my teenage years, and when he recovered, my mother became a really bad alcoholic. I guess a good precedent for monogamy, you stay together with the same person till death. They were together until she died, but it was not good for either of them. I don't think that they loved each other at the point in time that I saw them. All it kind of like says to me in that is like, don't stay with someone because you're supposed to, because you signed a piece of paper, or because you have children together. You need to take care of yourself first, because you can't be a good parent to your child. You can't be a good partner if you aren't taking care of yourself.
I grew up in a pretty religious household. There were certain ways that you needed to behave, certain ways that you needed to act and be, and I played that role really, really well. And, and I was applauded for it, and I was given opportunities because of it. And to kind of step out of that was really hard, and mainly because my family was just surrounded by a lot of secrecy. We don't talk about things, we shift them under the rug, and we just bury our emotions as much as we can so that we don't really have to deal with it. And that is not at all how I'm choosing to lead my life. My name is Katie, and I'm polyamorous. I struggled with my faith and also being a polyamorous person, because this is absolutely, completely frowned upon in our community. I was a worship pastor for many, many years in a very conservative church. When I decided to just be a little bit more truthful with who I was, I had to really re-wrap my mind around what I truly conceived God to be and what that love towards me looks like. I realized there was just no way that I could keep hiding this really important part of myself.
A polyamorous relationship is appropriate for raising a family.
I don't know. I have no idea.
So I have a 6-year-old, and me and my 2 partners, we raise him, and Baltimore City, schools knows about it. My son has an IEP, so that means he has some learning disabilities, and there's 3 people to support, to be there for him. So I don't know, I think for me, just it's allowed me the freedom to, kind of go after goals, go after dreams, and have the support system still at home. And I know my son is lacking nothing. I mean, it's tricky because, you have other little kids are like, oh, why does Lucas have 2 moms and a dad, And it's just kind of easy to just be like, families just look different sometimes. Just being more open about it, even that in itself is gonna give kind of just more space for these family structures to be just respected, because I know that in my community, I think we're the only ones really kind of openly being this way about who we are. And we haven't seen any sort of backlash or anything like that, so.
You know, like logically, practically, it does make sense to have that support. And we're also talking about kids when we say family. I think it expands much further than that. And so you see people who already have multiple parents with stepdads, stepmoms. And so I see no reason that this is not an addition to that, you know, so I just want to put that forth too.
You know, the one thing I heard is the three of you, whatever you got to do, you're going to do so he can be successful and loved and cared for and feel safe and be safe. My name is Mike and I am monogamous. What I love about my wife so much and makes our marriage special is A, she puts up with me. And we have found ways that we support each other with what we like to do professionally and spiritually and help out. And I think that's a lot of what I took away today. I saw that with the other side.
So as for like my household, we have 5 children. Our parents live 2.5 hours away, so it's mainly us doing the brunt of the school pickups, drop off, all that kind of stuff. While I do see that it would be very beneficial to have someone else, I think that's why nannies are available, babysitters, that kind of thing. Trying to add someone else to our lifestyle would make me so anxious. It would just be like, oh my gosh, there's another person in the house that needs something, that has to do something, and then somebody else have to deal with, and then they possibly want sex tonight. I would be like, I'm over it. So
I mean,
that's
how
I feel. That's how it feels.
like Google calendars exist. Like I get what you're saying, and that there is like a lot of that in the polyamorous community where you're interested in someone and they're like, hey, look, I really like you, but I just don't have the bandwidth right now to add another partner. But at the same note, if you or your husband got another partner, they could watch the kids while the two of you go out on a date night. Like that would add time for you and your husband to be able to go off while like, because they could, you know, be integrated into the family.
All right, we can cut.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. I still don't think the idea of monogamy is unrealistic. I do believe that there are those that maybe in this ever-growing society that we live in, maybe polyamory might be something that people go look into more, something like that. And that's what you want to do. Then that's your prerogative. That's it's your life. So that's nothing wrong with that. But I don't believe that the idea of monogamy even is an unrealistic idea. I still believe that you can have, whether it be with one person, whether it be with one person for the rest of your life, or one person, or multiple people at different times, at points in time. So one person at one point and one person at another point. However it works, I still feel that a monogamous relationship monogamy is not unrealistic. I still think it's a perfectly good thing to do, right thing to do, and yeah. I might have more on that subject if I wasn't completely knackered, to be honest. But all around, this is a nice video, and again, it's nice to watch, and again, it's very informative and just to see the other side of the spectrum. So yeah. But anyway, that is all I am gonna do for this video. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, Sergeant Beckett. If you like, in the description of the channel, there's a link to my link tree. In that link tree, you can find a link to other places on the internet where I do other things. Be it Twitter or TikTok or whatever. Go in there, have a look around, see what takes you fancy. And thank you all so much for watching this video. See you all in the next one. Adios.